Hey, everybody. Welcome to the interview. My name is Dale Parker. I'm the host of the show, uh, brought to you by CROPA Media. I have with me, our guest today is Miss Lisa Stacey. Miss Lisa Stacey, how are you this morning?
I am well. Thank you for asking.
Great, great. I have Lisa here, Miss Stacey. She's going to be running for public office, first time candidate running for the Somerset County Clerk of the Circuit Court. And while we get started, Lisa, just tell the people, the voters out there, just a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, I am, I guess, military dependent, have been for 21 years. So I have traveled a lot. I've been overseas and lived in Italy, Naples, Italy, Suda, Greece. I received my master's while I was in Italy. I went to do studies in Frankfurt, Germany. And then when we retired from the military, we moved to the Eastern Shore. So I have been in Princess Anne, Maryland, Somerset County for 21 years. When we moved back, we purchased a residence in Princess Anne. So I've been in my home the same amount of time, 21 plus years here in Princess Anne. And currently I am a full-time correctional officer. I am also an owner of my agency with New York Life Financial Services. I volunteer in the community I was advocate for the Life Crisis Center in Salisbury. And I also did volunteer time with positive reinforcements in Princess Anne because community service is very important to me to get back to my community and to help out wherever I can. I have worked in Somerset County. I was a substitute teacher for the school district for 2 years, and I pretty much taught in every school in Somerset at every level, working with kids. So that's something that I really love to do, is also work with the youth in our community. So I come to the campaign arena as a way of being of service to my community and wanting to give back.
Yeah, absolutely. That service is kind of a prerequisite or a mandate for running for public office. It's a public service position, and it has to be something that's inside of you, in your being, in your heart, that you want to do so that you do a good job and serve the people, actually. So certainly, you sound like you've had a busy life moving around the world. You said you spent time in Italy.
Yeah, we being Navy dependent, you could do overseas service, and we did. I lived in Naples, Italy for 3 years. That's actually where I got my graduate degree. They had a program with the DoD in conjunction with schools from the United States. They flew over professors to teach, and I got my master's degree through an advanced degree program where you literally, your undergrad, you had to have a high enough GPA to even enter in this program. So I definitely took advantage of that with the DoD, pretty much paying for my master's. That was a great
Very
benefit of
good.
being in a service. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
couldn't pass that up. We were able to, during the time that I worked on getting my master's, we took graduate classes in Frankfurt, Germany to finish up our degree program, me and other officers and other officer dependents. So we still got to travel. I've been to Switzerland. I've been to Brussels, Belgium. I've been to Paris, France. I've been to the French Alps. So being overseas was a great opportunity for me. I love being overseas. But like I said, when it was time to come back to the States, we came back and settled on the Eastern Shore.
Okay, so Somerset County, you said you've been in Somerset County, Princess Anne area for 21 years. Where did you grow up?
Actually, I was born in DC, Washington, DC, and then we moved to Newark, New Jersey. So I was there for a while, and then we moved to Chase City, Virginia. So that was my formidable years. I guess I say formidable because that's where you do your junior high, high school,
Right.
elementary. So my formidable years, I did live in Virginia, and that's where in Norfolk, where I started, being a military dependent where we were stationed in Norfolk for a number of years. So when the opportunity came to go overseas, I was all gung ho because I love meeting people. I love new experiences. I love different cultures. So going overseas and having the Department of Defense cover that expense was a win-win to move
Mhm.
and travel. And we would vacation and just travel all over Greece. We would travel all over Italy because, like I said, I love meeting people and experiencing different cultures, um, immersing myself literally in other environments and cultures, is learning their language and learning their cultures and their family values, which can be somewhat different from the States of being an American. And the thing they really appreciated was the fact that wherever we were, we tried to learn the language and speak to them in their own language. So you really appreciated that from an American.
Right. And to put in that effort to actually do that is important when you're traveling abroad, because oftentimes Americans are seen as, I don't know, snobbish or demand that
Everything.
other people do what they're used to doing.
Exactly, exactly. And they appreciated that so much. And I had my youngest son with us. And when you're young, you can pick up a foreign language so quickly. And when he was able to literally translate things that I couldn't, ask for or talk about, it just more so made them see that we were, a family that would go the extra effort
Right.
to learn different things. So this also is a new experience for me because I have never ran for an office where you have to be elected. But I love learning new things and having new experiences. So I am grateful for this opportunity, actually.
Okay. Tell the people about your family life
Um,
currently, or
well, yeah, I have, like I said, I was military dependent or still am. I have 5 kids. My youngest is 17. She's a senior in high school. I am so excited for her because she currently has a 4.6 GPA, and her tutor said if she does all A's again this year, it'll be a 5.0, which I didn't even know was a thing. I said, didn't know.
right.
I
It
didn't
was
even know.
4.0 for me.
Right, and me too. And I'm like,
Mhm.
huh? But she has all AP and CM classes, which are advanced placement and college material classes. So I'm excited for her that, like I said, she's a senior. She's the last of the Mohicans. Um, so right now I am a widow. My husband passed away a year and a half ago. So I I do run my agency. Like I said, I own my own agency for New York Life Financial Services, and I do run that out of my home in Princess Anne. And that too was a way of me being able to give back to the community because the financial part of it, teaching people, it was like having a financial literacy platform to talk to people about. Because even when I would do group settings when talking about solutions, people would always say, I didn't know that. I didn't know we could do that. I didn't
Right.
know there are new solutions out there for that. That was very exciting to hear that I was literally educating people on some of the financial aspects of how do you level up your family's financial future
Right.
or
Exactly.
shore it up is what I like to say too. So, like I said, I run my agency out of my home. I am a full-time correctional officer. I have been for 6.5 years, more so going on 7 years. And that part of working under the auspices of the Department of Justice, I'm on that end. I see what comes through, our facility. And so I wanted to be on the literally other side of, maybe working under the Department of Justice. So this is a great opportunity to move from what I do currently into a different arena.
Okay. Now, this is a full-time paid position, isn't it?
Correct.
So how
Correct.
would that affect what you're doing currently?
For the Office
The
of American.
the corrections.
Well, I mean, it is a full time. I am a full time employee. A lot of times I will do overtime with that. Is it the flexibility of doing that and working a shift job and running my agency what it entails is you have to be detail oriented. You have to prioritize. You have to look at your schedule. You have to look at the logistics of being a full-time employee, owning a business, because I have to serve my clients for New York Life. I have to follow up, and it all takes that administrative work, not just me being face to face with my clients or my prospects, but the follow up. So it's that scheduling, it's that being, like I said, detail oriented, is prioritizing what I have to do with my time. So it's a lot, and then being a mom, even though the youngest is 17, I do have 4 older kids, and it still doesn't, because they're older, doesn't stop you from having to do mom stuff.
Right.
So it's a lot, and even with volunteering, it's just finding the time to just work all that into your schedule. And you have to take care of yourself too. You have to have that self, like exercising and eating right, and socializing, and that spiritual piece of, you got to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you cannot do the other things. And even campaigning, I did not know it was so entailed. I didn't know how much was involved. I didn't. It was like, oh, okay, so that's a lot. And I tell people about it, and it's like, ooh, you have to do a lot. I'm like, yeah, I didn't realize it, but I'm up for it. I guess when you're doing something you want to do, the energy kind of,
Right.
comes.
It comes with it, right. It comes.
You don't know where, but it comes, like, where it comes
Right.
from. It comes. Well, you know where it's from. If you're spiritual, you know where it comes from. But it's just something else to add to the plate. But I am enjoying the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of brain power to do what you do on a regular basis, but then to add in running for public office and all the infrastructure type things that you need to have in place or put in place to do it effectively is important. So absolutely, this is what we're here for. Ms. Stacey, please tell the people about the position that you're running for, and what's entailed in that position, and how you feel like you're prepared to serve in that position and provide something a little maybe different than what exists now out of that office.
Okay. Well, actually, like someone said the other night, I was at the CROPA mixer, plug for CROPA. And I was explaining the duties of the clerk of the circuit court. So they literally oversee the office that performs many administrative duties for the circuit court, including the maintenance of court records. Other duties include recording of deeds and collecting of taxes and fees based on property transactions, issuing licenses for fishing, hunting, sales of liquor, and marriage. And they also perform civil wedding ceremonies and process passport applications. So it's a lot of administrative work, but the clerk literally just handles all the records that run through the court. You need to have, like I said, you have to be detail oriented. You have to be able to prioritize. You have to be able to look at the logistics and have a almost an umbrella view where you're running it, but you need to see everything that needs to take place,
Right.
in the office. So what I say, I'm running, and I bring to the table the fact, I received my master's of business administration through an advanced degree program, which, like I say, you have to have a certain aptitude just to even get into the program. And I was able to do that by using diligence, dedication, and commitment to get the work done. And I currently use my organizational skills and my leadership skills to operate and maintain meticulous records for my financial services business that I said I have with New York Life. And I serve all of them all. I'm licensed for Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. So it's not just Maryland residents, or it's not just Somerset community. I have clients in Virginia, I have clients in Delaware also. And what I would bring to the table is I would use at least the best practices to ensure all stakeholders involved in the operations, duties, and service of the clerk's office are given the best customer service possible, and to be transparent, accountable, and a representative of my community that I serve. and to initiate community engagement opportunities to build stronger and more trusting relationships. I will do that by using the best technology, manpower, and office procedures to ensure documents are processed quickly, efficiently, and accurately. I will optimize my relationships with the community leaders to inform the public of how the clerk's office can serve them best. My work experience has driven me to demand high quality customer service from myself and those that I surround with me, and I will bring that into the office. So, and I do.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's the thing with the, running for office and what it all entails. You don't do this alone. You can't,
Mhm.
be efficient and run a efficient and successful campaign by yourself. So I really do appreciate my team. My campaign manager, my deputy manager, my treasurer, my secretary, those that are supporting me, the community, CROPA. It is like a concerted effort, and the team is awesome. The encouragement, the support, the words of
Right.
uplifting, um,
Right.
validation is greatly appreciated. And I do want to give a shout out to my campaign manager, Tia, my deputy manager, Tia Real, deputy manager Karen Corbin, and my girls, Courtney and Caitlin Stacey. And then of course the support
Okay.
of friends and family.
Right, absolutely, and it takes a village. It really literally takes a village to run successfully for office, or to run for office. And the really good thing about it is that by running for office, regardless of the outcome of the actual election, we're building infrastructure, we're building confidence, we're building name recognition. There are things that we're laying down groundwork for now that we hope that we certain that it's going to pay off over the upcoming years and election cycles. So either way, I think that what we're doing is a really a first step towards being able to be politically engaged and understanding what it takes, all of those kinds of things. So I really appreciate you stepping up to the challenge, to the call for people to actually put their foot into the arena and say, I'm interested in running for office and being in that position to help my community. You mentioned quite often, like, about customer service. I understand that that's a lot of what your background is in terms of serving others. And that's what you mentioned about the position, how you'll be in position to demand quality customer service from the staff there towards the public. This position is basically, it's the clerk of the circuit court. It does a lot of recordations of, like, the wills, property, especially property. So whenever we buy or sell property, there's a transaction that happens and it has to be recorded. Those deeds and
Yes.
transactions have to be recorded in the court record. So that's a lot of those kinds of things that you brought up that are the duties of the clerk of the circuit court. So
Yes.
absolutely, absolutely. So in terms of how can people help your campaign? If people are watching this and they say, hey, Lisa Stacey sounds like an awesome candidate. This sounds like somebody we should be supporting. How can people go about supporting? How can they reach out to you? How can they support your candidacy?
Yes, of course. We need your support. And what I'm asking for is your vote for the gubernatorial election that's coming up November the 8th. I need people to check to make sure they're registered. If you are not, I need you to get registered to be able to vote by October the 18th in order to at least vote in this, gubernatorial election on the 8th. You just have to be registered by the 18th of October. Just you can do early voting. You can mail in ballots. You can find out where your polling place is by going to, I think it's Maryland elections.
Mhm. Both elections.
Yes. And just make sure you're good to go and come out. And, people want change. People want their voice to be heard. People want to have
Mhm.
power. And this is one very good way, excellent way to say, yeah, I do. I want change. I want to make my voice known. I want to have some power. And this is how you do it. it's all good and well to say, oh, you know what, she seems to be a good candidate. I'm glad she's running, and I verbally will give her support. But what matters is people actually getting out and showing what power we have. Um, it is imperative that people take action. It's good to sit back and say, "Oh, that's good. That's why I'm so happy for you. Good luck." And, I get that, and I hear it, and I'm like, but I also need you to put action behind your sentiment. I need you to actually get out and be involved and just join. You can join us in our campaign canvassing. You can join us in our events that we have to support and talk about the initiatives that, organizations like CROPA and others are, trying to initiate to just make the community stronger and better. Just get involved. Just, your time, just come out and see how you can help. Because we need volunteers. We have committees, CROPA has committees that they're recruiting for right now, currently. So I'd love for people to just come out and be present and hear some of the conversations, hear some of the speakers talk, and get to understand and, really see where you can help. So I think it's good for people to, sit back and say, I support you and it's good that you're running, but I can't rest on my laurels. If I want to change, so I have to, maybe I have to be that change that people want to see. So I can't just say it, I'm so tired of the status quo, and I'm so tired of the, same old, and then don't do anything about it because I don't have a right to complain. I can't complain. So if people, just would come out to the events that are happening in the community that are for the good, that are for uplifting and positive change in the community, we could change stuff. We could change a lot. We have the numbers. That's
we
the
have
thing.
the numbers, absolutely. And let me just say that what you're saying is so on point. People coming out and showing up and being there, and that's where, even if you just sit on the sidelines a little bit while you're there, you'll learn something. You'll have something that you can share with your family and friends, even if that's what you do. But then you'll gain confidence as well to step up and to serve in different roles for the community, but governmentally as well. So that's so important. You said we have the numbers in Somerset County, ladies and gentlemen. We have the numbers to for our Democratic candidates to actually win countywide and statewide for our county elected positions. The numbers are there. Our deficiency right now is that we don't have enough people coming out and voting. So we need to encourage everybody to vote. Come out and vote. The reason why you're voting, because you're voting for real change. You're voting for candidates like Miss Lisa Stacey here, who is dedicated and committed to making real change happen positively for our community. Tell your family and friends, bring 2 or 3 people with you to the polls when you're voting. Don't just say I voted, say we voted. We voted as a family. We voted as a community. And make sure that you do that and encourage everybody around you to vote. Additionally, if you want to, I'm sure Lisa, Stacey, you're available on Facebook or some social media. Reach out to her directly there. You can go to our CROPA website and volunteer, say that I want to get involved. I want to help Lisa Stacey and other candidates running for office. We need as many people to come around. We do canvassing, we knock on doors, which is a lot more fun than it might sound like. Knocking on doors to reach people where they are. And that's important to us, is to reach people exactly where they are. So we're encouraging people to actually come out, go to our website. It's www.CROPA1619.org. You can reach us on Facebook as well. You can type in CROPA, CROPA. You'll get to our Facebook page. You can comment there as well. We're just encouraging people to get excited. This is an opportunity for us to make that change that we always talk about. We always talk about making change or people wanting change. But just as Lisa said, your sentiment is great. We really appreciate their encouragement. but the action behind that sentiment is much more important. So come out and vote, encourage your family and friends to vote, and let's cheer Lisa Stacey on to victory on November 8th. That's Tuesday. That's the general election, the gubernatorial election of 2022. Come out, show your support. We'll have more events as the date gets closer. We're actually planning our GOTV, Get Out the Vote events, registering people. If you're not registered, or you think you are even, please just go to the Maryland Board of Elections website. You can type in Maryland Board of Elections in Google. It'll take you right to it. It's a pretty good site for as far as communicating the information. So there you can actually type in your name, a couple of identifying pieces of information, and it'll tell you whether you're registered to vote. It'll tell you where to vote, when to vote. It'll give you all of that information. A special note to our community, even if you've been if you're not currently in prison after following a conviction, if you're walking around the streets, if you're out here doing your thing, you are eligible to vote. And I want to make that clear because I know that there's some concern in the community about that. But by state law, you are fully eligible to register and to vote. Miss Stacey, it's been a pleasure. I want to give you one more chance to shout out your team, tell the people any parting messages or words, and to get them all motivated and excited to come out and vote for you on November 8th.
Yeah, again, my team, I am so appreciative of Tia, Karen, Courtney, Kaylin, John, CROPA, all the support that people in the community have given me, my coworkers, my friends, my family. The encouragement is wonderful. The support is wonderful. The community, we can do this. I believe in you guys. I think you have the intention, but I need you to get out and vote. I want to serve the community. I want to be a bigger part of the community, and anything that I can do to help serve my community, I am willing to do if I'm able to, because, you know, it's fitting it all in what I do currently, but I'm up for the job and I will make you proud. So I need you guys to actually come out and give me your support. I'm asking for you to come out and vote, or mail in or do early voting, whatever your preference is. Let's do this. We can do this.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Again, this is Miss Lisa Stacey. She's running for the Somerset County Clerk of the Circuit Court. We're asking everybody to support, come out, as Miss Stacey said, and give her your vote. Give our other Democratic candidates your vote. Tell your family and friends, and we shall see you after the election, and we are expecting a fine victory. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. You have a great one.
You too.
1 second. I'm going to stop this. Okay.